Hey, so I'm back with my quirky thoughts. And ever since I was little, I've literally always been so intrigued and fascinated with the idea of reincarnation and what this is, what life is, where we came from, and all that. Like, I've always used to question, like, everyone around me, like, where do we come from? What is this? I've always asked, like, deep questions and questions that people would always say I'm talking dumb when I get tired. When like a baby gets tired and they start laughing, and I still do that, by the way, but when they get tired, they start laughing and being like goofy and stuff right before they fall asleep. Yeah, that's me. And that's like my whole personality. But definitely, I still do that when I'm tired. But anyway, I've always been fascinated with the idea of reincarnation and what the universe is. So, I actually found this like interesting. So, like, I've noticed that I had a birthmark on my thigh, and I noticed it like years ago, probably like 10 years ago, but I never really like um got the opportunity to like really like study it or like think too much deep about it until actually today. I was like really like wondering what it could mean and stuff like that, and I just found it interesting. I did a little research online and I just found it really interesting, like a lot of the clues and things, the conclusions that I have put together on it. So yeah, I don't mean to make this about me. This is not all about me, but look, I want you to look up, like, first of all, someone brought up to my attention that I should like look up my name in Hebrew, and I've never did that. Like, I looked up my name before, but not in Hebrew. So when I looked up my name in Hebrew, it was actually very interesting. So my name in Hebrew means to sprout, to shoot forth, or to grow green, and it says that it's often used in the Bible to describe vegetation emerging. Um in Genesis 111 is always interesting because I'm always seeing like synchronicities like that. So that's crazy that that's tied to my name. But it says where the earth causes vegetation to sprout. It signifies growth, vitality, and bringing forth life related to grass. That's crazy cuz my name is like a it's like close to a noun that means grass and used in context of divine provision and flourishing, which is very like interesting because the word provision had came to my head like a couple of days ago, and it was random, and that's when I like looked up the word provision and what it actually meant and stuff like that. So that's crazy. So basically it says that the key meanings and usage of my name means the primary sense referring to plants coming to life, God causing things to sprout or manifest, a concept of abundant growth as seen in descriptions of fertile lands. So in Genesis 111, for the biblical examples, it says God commands the earth to sprout vegetation. And in Joel 2:22, which also is a synchronicity that I've been seeing, it says that it describes pastures of the wilderness turning green, like, spring. So and it says that my name um appears in various different cultures with different origins, like Slavic. I don't know what that Slavic is, or Greek, and it says that its meaning is rooted in nature's renewal and flourishing. And I just found that very interesting. And also my name means a gift from God, like in non-Hebrew. Like my whole name in like astrology means a state. Like my name is like a state of like a state. Like how can I, like a state in the sense of like a present, what state, what I'm talking about, like a whole state of mind, like a whole, and then it also means like a period of life. Like that's crazy. It says that it refers to specific planetary periods. So I just found that so crazy. Oh my God, I'm sorry for like rambling. I really don't mean, but I have a point though. Like I really have a point. So that's a little bit about my name, what it means, right? And what really stands out to me is the fact that it said my first name and my birthmark tells a story about like my life journey, like my real life journey that I'm really on like right now type stuff. Like it's crazy. So my name mean that, like my name is like spring, like to like bring life into onto the earth, like with vegetation and like stuff like that, how it has to be like watered and constantly taken care of for it to bear fruit and be like have life. So my birthmark, um so it's on my thigh, my left thigh, and like the left thigh actually like is symbolic because like anything on the left side of the body, it like is associated with like the subconscious and emotional memory, the past, intuition and stuff like that. So it's about like stuff that is like absorbed, like taken in, like just you know and then like the thigh represents carrying weight, forward motion, endurance, because we use our legs, to walk. Like that's what carries us through life. So when we put it together, um it can like represent like the emotional memory tied to like my movement and safety and survival. And I just find that so interesting because like in other tradition, per se in a past life, it could mean unresolved emotional attachment, which I feel that I have. Like, and then like in real life, I'm always like getting attached, like or used to, per se. Like now I feel like I have like a different type of like attachment style, but like when I was little, I definitely used to get attached really quick, and I used to like try to absorb people's um energy, per se, that I liked, like the people who had like very very good auras and stuff like that, like very good energy to them. I would try to like almost take a piece of their aura and save it into my body, because that was like a way of me feeling like I was close to them, per se. Like don't judge me, I've been through trauma, like, so if y'all knew my story, then it makes sense. But just how a baby keeps like the mother's blanket, because the blanket doesn't represent the actual blanket, like it represents the mother, it has her scent on it and all of that. Yeah, so that's what I used to do. And I'm like very intuitive too, so I could like feel people's energies and stuff, and I could feel if you got good energy and bad energy and all of that. So yeah, I used to have very like bad attachment issues when I was little. So yeah, that unresolved emotional trauma, it like resonates. And then it said that in a past life it could represent loss or separation, and even a life where safety or belonging was disrupted during movement, migration, escape, caregiving, exile. So I feel like that's crazy. And then it says the thigh as the emotional memory of having to keep going. And I feel like that represents my whole life, like the emotional memory of having to keep going. And I feel like I've been through like a lot, like, I feel like, as we all have, and we all just, despite going through like a lot and what we go through, we literally had to keep going because we have no choice. And it shows on my birthmark. So it's like a memory of like a past life type stamp on my body or whatever. That's crazy. And then I'm like, it's like I'm witnessing it outside of my body and like remembering. I don't know. I'm remembering something subconsciously, and it's like, and it's crazy. So my name matched with my birthmark is like crazy because it goes hand in hand. Like it really tells a story. So yeah, like I feel like that's like very interesting. And then like my whole name means renewal. And like because of my illusions of life was broken since I was a child, I've always struggled with like figuring out what to believe in because like I just wanted it all to make sense and stuff. So the fact that this is like just going hand in hand, and it's like it's just crazy. It's just very interesting to me. So if you got a birthmark on your thigh, it's like, no, you can't be me, but I know we don't got the same birthmark. That is not possible for us to have the same birthmark, but like you should look up your name in Hebrew and then figure out if you have a birthmark.